Chicago Sky coach, Tyler Marsh, who, guess what? Completely disintegrated all of these quote-unquote hate speech rumors from the Sky Fever game the other night. He's like, nah, sorry, I didn't hear anything. By the way, this is Angel Reese right after Caitlin Clark hit that three-pointer at the buzzer going into halftime. Guys, this game, this is what a sellout looks like. 17,274 fans, and it was fully sold out.
There were more than 17,000 yelling supporters in the crowded stadium. There was a single coaching decision that rocked the WNBA. One of the league's most divisive rookies and self-described bae, Angel Reese, was taken out of game and never came back. There was no explanation or warning, just absolute quiet and a flurry of internet conjecture. We reveal the history, the tensions, and the aftermath from the Chicago Sky tonight. The season's most contentious move.
Reese trying to start a fight with Caitlin Clark to deflect the fact that she is getting her ass whipped. I mean, it's on. It is on.
Already, the tension was high. The lead was held by the Indiana Fever. Another clinic was being set up by Caitlin Clark. Reese was also having trouble. She was shooting less than 35%, missing defensive rotations, and was obviously agitated. Coach Tyler Marsh then called the game halfway through the third quarter. Reese was placed on the bench. Her hands holding the towel as her jaw tightened was captured on video. She didn't come back for the remainder of the match. This was more than just a replacement for a star who was touted as the franchise's future. It was a declaration.
A follow-up video on the nuclear fallout. That's exactly what it's been. Over the take foul, as Caitlin Clark is calling it, and that's a great way to say it. It was a take foul. She was trying to prevent a wide-open layup, although one could argue that she might have missed it anyway, on Angel Reese, and then Angel Reese went absolutely, utterly berserk. I find this rather interesting because it sounds like they're going to pull her out further from the basket, and I wonder how her fans are going to feel about that. If she's further away from the basket, that doesn't mean there's going to be a lot of, or as many, I would believe, offensive rebound opportunities for one Angel Reese. And
Axe or Twitter blew out. According to one side, Ree's outspoken nature was the reason she was being targeted. According to the other, the performance was just subpar. It was deemed a vital wake-up call by ESPN's post-game panel. Marsh, however, remained vague throughout his news conference. This is an internal issue. We're going to keep it domestic. However, the rumor mills went out of control without an official explanation.
Reese trying to start a fight with Caitlin Clark to deflect the fact that she is getting her ass whipped. I mean, it's on. It is on.
Clark said, "No layups in my house," and sent Angel Reese flying like it was a Southwest commercial. That flop had Academy Award winner written all over it. But the refs really looked at that and said, yep, that's definitely murder, and gave Caitlin a flagrant like she pulled a knife out mid-play. And Angel tried to run up on her and said, "You're crazy as fuck, what the fuck are you doing?" And Caitlin's all like, "This is just basketball. It's either a layup or free throws. Pick one."
It's just a good take foul, you know? If either Angel gets wide open 2 points or, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
And just like that, Caitlin Clark dropped a triple.
This goes beyond a single terrible night. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese's hatred has been smoldering for more than a year. It started with the NCAA championship on April 2nd, 2023. Clark was the target of Reese's now famous "You can't see me" hand wave over her face. It went viral and sparked a national conversation on women's basketball's respect, racism, and sportsmanship. Time travel to the WNBA. In terms of fan votes, points, and assists, Clark leads all rookies, whereas Rhea is close to the bottom in important efficiency indicators. The plot line unfolds naturally each time they clash, but this most recent episode could be the most combustible to far. Watch carefully. Angel Reese is pushed by Neil Clark. The spark was ignited in the middle of the third quarter. Clark stopped an easy layup with what most people termed a basic take foul. However, it wasn't ordinary for Reese. She immediately responded with angry remarks. finger pointing, and a clear effort to approach Clark before being stopped. The bench of the Fever stood up. The noise of the audience became a tidal surge of anxiety when the Sky coaches intervened. Basketball took a back seat in that situation. This was a private matter.
The new offense is, quote, a transition for her in training camp, but thinks she'll be able to learn the new skill set easily. Quote, what's the point of me working on it if I'm not going to take the shot, question mark.
Marsh addressed the decision a few hours later. He did not elaborate, but he denied reports of hate speech or off-court turmoil. It's an issue between Angel and myself. Speculation was only heightened by that lack of response. Conflicts regarding her position, shot selection, and defensive commitment have been simmering for weeks, according to several sources who spoke to ESPN. Some even implied that co-workers were becoming irritated. If accurate, this benching could have been a result of several plays rather than just one.
Crazy, something like that, blah, blah, blah. You crazy as F. What the F is wrong with you? I mean, my goodness.
It was just a good play on the basketball. I'm not sure what the refs saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion after watching the initial whatever happened during the play and then whatever happened after. We watch a lot of basketball. It's a take foul to put them at the free throw line. I'd rather give up 2 points. I've watched a lot of basketball in my life. That's exactly what it was. I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. That's not the type of player I am. So,
Angel Reese's path to the WNBA has been both remarkable and spectacular. She has embraced the position of an outspoken, unrepentant competitor, going from high school sensation to NCAA champion. However, such attention was accompanied by criticism for omitted practices, confusing social media postings, and giving off-court branding precedence over on-court consistency. Although many respect her self-assurance, others see her as a player who is more interested in the story than the game.
I hear busting that and flat out, bro, triple dub. And I don't want to hear none of that stat padding stuff, bro. She had a triple double, and that's just the facts, man. That's just the facts. So I see a lot of people saying, oh, she fouled her hard, bro. It was a malicious play. Man, that wasn't no malicious play. This is a malicious play. Check it out.
Talk about the hard foul. Caitlin Clark fouls Angel Reese while going up for a layup. People are making a big deal out of this. And me, I'm looking at it like, look, it was just a hard foul. I don't even think it was flagrant. The only thing that was flagrant was Angel Reese's response, right? How she responded to the hard foul. And obviously you can see there's still a little hate. There's still a little hate out there. But I'm going to say this, WNBA.
The WNBA community is divided about the response. Lisa Leslie reminded supporters that rookies had a high learning curve and asked for patience. Candace Wiggins, a former guard, was direct when she said, in this league, talent without discipline won't last. Hashtags like #free and #Ben retrended at the same time on social media. When asked after the game, even Caitlin Clark opted for diplomacy. Basketball is the game. We are in competition.
What was the point you were trying to make to her?
it's just a good take foul. Either Angel gets wide open 2 points, or we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's
Whether Reed will start the Chicago Sky's next game has not yet been confirmed. The league's attention will only grow as All-Star Weekend draws near. The question is easy for Angel Reese. Will she come back prepared to disprove her detractors? Or will more profound deterioration start with this benchmarking? There's little doubt that the WNBA community will be keeping an eye on it. There was more to this than just benching. It was a statement and perhaps a watershed. Although rivalries may ruin careers, they can also create legends. Angel Reese is also the target of history in the WNBA. The Chicago Sky made a choice 2 minutes ago that rocked the WNBA community. Angel Reese was benched, taken out of the game, and her future was called into doubt in the midst of one of the fiercest rivalries in the league. The coach's last call, the words, and the stare were all captured on video. We reveal the whole thing tonight. The Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever matchup, the WNBA's newest major rivalry, was expected to be just another game. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. Fans couldn't stop talking about the rematch. But it wasn't simply basketball that happened. It made headlines throughout the country. Additionally, it might define Angel Reese's career. Long before there was a WNBA, the animosity began. Reese mocking of Clark at the 2023 NCAA championship went viral, with some applauding and others condemning it. Since then, there has been a little increase in tension and edge in each of their meetings. Chippy, their first WNBA game. The second is considerably more severe, and it boiled over this time. Already irritated by missed shots and dubious rulings, Rhea objected to a harsh foul by Clark halfway through the third quarter. Instead of retreating, she pressed closer. The vibe of the arena changed in an instant. Critics referred to it as electrifying. There was not a single flinch from Clark. She remained calm and determined. The Chicago Sky coach made his choice a few moments later. Rhea was benched, pulled, and finished for the